Welcome back to Glamour Unfiltered, hosted by me, Josh Smith, your celebrity interview franchise where we get to the heart of some of the issues that mean the most to some of the most inspiring celebrities on this entire planet. And today, we are joined by the new queen of Netflix, Zoey Deutch! Congrats.
Thank you.
You are slaying it in The Politician.
So evidently there's a videotape with some footage of you using an offensive gay slur. Do you have any idea what I might be referring to?
Do you have any idea what time it is?
There's teen drama. There's also very serious issues in it raised as well about suicide, gun control, crime. If you had this show growing up, how do you think it would have helped you as a young person?
There isn't like this giant discussion about how you identify sexually. One of the lead characters, he likes men and women, but it's never discussed that he's bi or straight or gay or, you know, what a dream it would be to live in a world where it wasn't this, your sexuality wasn't a political stance. You know, that it's such an interesting time that we live in, that you have to have this big thing where you declare who you are to the world, but what if you could just be who you were and it wasn't, again, a political statement to be who you are. And I love that about this show.
Your character is kind of an outsider in many, many ways. How much of an outsider have you felt in your own life, and how have you grappled with that, if you have done?
We always feel like outsiders and frauds, and I think that's a very human, natural thing. I wish I had advice to give on that front.
Do you feel still like you're on a journey of self-discovery with yourself?
Certainly. I'm about to be 25, and the whole like quarter-life crisis existential dread thing is real.
It is very real.
Something that's so important is to not, for me, I find it important to not compare my insides to other people's outsides. It's so easy, and I mean that by you look at something and you go, oh, they have everything, oh, they understand what they're doing, oh, they have their together, and the reality is really, truly, everybody is struggling in one way or another. That is like the great common denominator between every human being in the world. I just have never been, I'm not somebody who's like, what does it all mean?
Yeah.
I'm not necessary. I wouldn't consider myself a particularly philosophical creature. I guess yeah, definitely random thoughts of just, why are we all here? What does it all mean? What's the point? So it's kind of like out of, you know, I'm just driving in my car and a thought like that'll pop in and I'll just go down without knowing I'm like going down a really windy, weird road and then there's like a roadblock and my mind's like, nope, you're not smart enough, stop there. You can't go there. And I'm like, okay, well, at least my brain stopped me. I was raised in the community of, I'm Jewish, and in that community, it's like, if you don't see a therapist, it's like, what's wrong with you? And most parts of the world, it's like, you see a therapist, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, it's the opposite. You know, I feel very, very lucky that that's so much a part of my life is really talking through it and being open about what you're going through. I certainly have never been able to come to any conclusion about myself or my life without talking it out. It doesn't just. I'm unable to arrive at any sort of helpful or useful place without another human being guiding me or listening to me or, yeah. So you really need to talk to people. You need to just say, hey, will you listen to me?
Yeah.
I think listening is amazing as I talk and you listen.
No, but listening is a key skill as an interviewer. So I'm listening. We're here. We're in the vibes.
Yeah, no, it's not something a lot of people are good at.
What is your like empowerment mantra when you're feeling down?
I love something my mom told me once, which is so simple, and I do believe very strongly that sometimes the simplest things in life are really the most profound. But that saying, you are enough, I think is really beautiful. I think it's all-encompassing. I think if people were to really apply that to their own life and to their own perception of themselves, it would be a lot less hard on ourselves and turn a lot less hard on other people. I mean, that's ultimately where judgment and hate and anger and all that stuff comes from is like one of my favorite things to say when someone's being really hard on themselves, like my sister or one of my friends, if they're like, I look absolutely terrible right now, I go like, don't say that about my friend.
Yeah.
Just immediately like, don't say that about my friend.
Yeah.
Don't talk about the person that I love like that,
Yeah.
which is such a funny way of not going down the rabbit hole of like continuing to be hard on yourself, because then you're mad at yourself for being hard on yourself. Just I think keeping it simple and not being so hard on yourself is really not. I think we should take advantage of that more often.
Obviously, this is set in the high school. What was high school like for you?
Went to a really cool arts high school that was really special and neat to be around a bunch of other like-minded people with teenagers with purposive behavior is how I always say it, because it feels like the easiest way to just summarize that everybody had a purpose.
Yeah.
Rather than popularity, because everybody had something that they wanted to do.
Everyone in some level in this show is using a platform for good or for bad. How stressed out do you feel about having a platform, and how much responsibility do you feel for it?
I think right now I feel more than anything a gratitude for it. I'm recognizing more than ever the privilege it is to, one, be allowed to have a voice and to have a platform to use that voice. So many people in this world are not able to talk about the way that they feel about their political climate, and they don't have a place to do it even if they wanted to. So if anything, I feel it's a privilege. And what's that quote? With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, like I think I do feel a responsibility, and I do relate to the idea that when you have the privilege to speak up, that silence does not make you safe. I understand the narrative that some people have, which is actors are not politicians, they're actors. But also we're human beings, and human beings have feelings and opinions, and I think it's a privilege and an honor.
What do you think is the most pressing issue for you, sitting today in today's society?
I think the thing that the thing that I've always been really passionate about, the thing that I always come back to is women's health and reproductive rights, which shouldn't be under the umbrella of politics as far as I'm concerned, or be a discussion of like women being in the minority, or 51% of the population. Lots of stuff on that front. Why are tampons taxed? Does that make sense? Why are politicians able to discuss when and if and how we have children? Doesn't make sense. Those kind of things really piss me off.
How much does it anger you?
It really angers me. But I find that to be a motivating emotion rather than a destructive emotion.
Do you, sitting here today, feel more empowered than ever before? And what has your journey with empowerment been like?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know anything. I don't know anything at all. Oh God. It's hitting me, the existential dread. Who am I? Am I empowered? What does it all mean? I do weirdly feel optimistic.
Yeah.
I don't know, I cannot pinpoint why. I feel oddly optimistic. I feel oddly excited about the future. I feel like things have to get better. So there's that.
Yeah.
And I feel very empowered in my community of like actresses. I feel very excited about this. I feel like it's more unifying and more together than ever before, and that's really cool. Look how much sweat I have.
Babes, we like the sweat police.
Yeah.
Sweaty hands.
Sweating is normal.
Sweating is normal.
I sweat non-stop.
This is what we should use your platform to talk about, sweat.
Oh my God, my first job I had, it was on the Disney Channel, and everybody wears those like crazy skin tight, like bright poppy colors. And it was like a live audience.
Yeah.
And in between every single scene in front of the live audience, they would bring in 5 hairdressers with blow dryers and dry my armpits, and I'd be in front of like a live audience, like a 15-year-old blow drying my armpits in front. And then they finally started putting pads, like period pads in my shirts, and it still didn't work. And I was like, this is humiliating. I've never ever heard of anything more humiliating than that. So here I am, bearing my soul/sweaty armpits for the world.
For more empowering videos such as this, with empowering people such as Zoe. Make sure you subscribe to the Glamour UK channels now, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for another episode of Glamour Unfiltered. And there will be some sweat filters on that one.
Yeah. Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
You
Thanks, guys.
absolute hun of huns.